Morning. Oh, that looks muscular. It looks so bad. We're gonna pull this up a bit more. Maybe. Is that straighter? Okay. Alright, mate. Oh, that was my bones popping. How's it going? I know it's one of those nights again where we're chilling, we're connecting. You know, it's just a night in with us again, which is pretty cool. By the way, I know my hair's a mess, right? This is the after shower hair, so not done it. You know, it's not all combed and nice or gelled up. It's literally just I've been in the shower and it's like, let it do what it wants, you know what I mean? We're in lockdown, I can't get it cut. So this is it. Also, not shaved. Oh my god, what's going on? I look awful, like. But that is what it is. Oh, trying to sit cross-legged without a pillow. Oof. Can't do it. Not like the yoga people who smash it. Oh, just not flexible. So, what are we talking about? Like, I know I've not seen you for a bit. I know we're hanging out again. How you doing? I know it's tough and that sometimes, and I know your brain's gonna, or your thoughts or whatever, or your feelings are just gonna put you in this little box, and you're not gonna feel alright. I totally understand that, but well, I don't even just understand it. It's something I've been through, where you feel like you're either without faith, you don't think the circumstances can get better, you don't think these feelings will ever change, you don't think anyone cares about you. You know, obviously that's a lie. You've got this right here shows you that people care about you. But it's very important that you actually take time. As I always say, take time. Take time for yourself to find the evidence, to make sure that you're overcoming problems, that you're identifying the problems for what they are. I talk about all this all the time, so you know what I'm on about, all the signals, all the trapping your thoughts, making sure you understand them, the evidence behind them, all that kind of stuff. But is that going to change how you feel? Probably not. So today, if you want to get into it, we can go into fear. I guess one fear I've got at the minute is, because I've sort of, I know I always do that, I always cliffhanger things, don't I, and come back. One thing I've got is, I feel like I've overcome a lot of my fears. I feel like I've had to live through a lot of my fears, that I was forced through them, because that's part of life. What you try and avoid will usually swallow you whole. And it was doing. And that was how I was sort of absorbed into a lot of my fears, was either I was forced to face it or I decided to face it. And every time I decided to face it, it was scary, but I almost felt like I was the hero in my own story. Like, I almost felt like, I know that's cheesy and that, but I felt like I was brave and like I was courageous and I wasn't a victim. But when I let the things happen to me, like I got made redundant and, you know, I lost these jobs, lost houses, lost partners, you know, all that kind of stuff, even friends, you definitely feel more like the victim when it's taken from you and it's outside of your control and you're not the one deciding it. Once that happens, you do really feel like you've lost something and a part of you has been torn out. So, I mean, everyone says it, it's better to face your fears head on. You know, go after it, smash it. And that's not as easy, because when you get fear, a lot of times you'll hesitate, a lot of times you won't know how to overcome it or what to do. So let's talk about some fears I might have now. Fear of this stuff not working. Okay, so how do I break this down? I do this. What's the worst thing that can happen from this series? A, ridicule. Well, I've been ridiculed my whole life, so that's fine. Been called all kinds of names, laughed at, called this, all that kind of stuff. So ridicules, that's a big risk for this. Another risk could be someone's taken my advice the wrong way, and they've done something that doesn't work for them, and it puts them in a further state of depression or anxiety. That's the opposite effect of what I want to have. So again, that's even worse, because then I'm not even helping the problem, I'm causing it. What else? Waste of time and effort, you know what I mean? Like doing all this and all these projects and all these things whilst having a job, whilst trying to do, rebuild my own life to somewhere I want to be. And it's like, what if it all doesn't work? And you've wasted all that time doing all this and no one cared. It's sort of, I'd rather take the risk and find out than never take the risk at all, if that makes sense. I'd rather try the challenge knowing that I give it my all rather than just say what if, which is something that you can do. Is when you're looking at any fear you've got, literally break it down into these things. Like, I know I'll go into this in my courses and stuff, but this can be sort of like just between us. If you've got something that's holding you back, look at it and say, right, okay, what's the actual risks? If I took it head on, if I decided to take it head on, what's the actual risks? Once you can conceptualize that a little, you sort of look at it and go, well, that's not too bad. That's something I could live through. That's something I could overcome. That's something that won't end everything. It's not as bad as it seems. Like, if you've got anxiety and you're scared to go out and talk to someone, the worst thing you're going to get is you go out and talk to someone and probably they have a go at you, they ignore you. More likely they'll ignore you if they don't know you, something like that, and you feel rejected. What happens if you feel rejected? Well, you feel sadder, but other than that, nothing physically changes around you. And then that's all character, and you go out and you try again, go out and try again, and then suddenly you get so used to the rejection that doesn't bother you anymore, and then you get so good at, knowing what's right and what's wrong. Suddenly you're making new friends, talking to new people, and that's basically how most fears work, is find a controlled environment to do it in, to face them. Now, we can break down all of what I've just said in a long section, so it's like, understand the fear, understand what you're scared of, like what are you scared of, through your anxiety, through your depression, maybe it's staying in the same situation. Then it's literally saying, right, okay, what's the risk of these if it goes wrong? If I try and tackle it and it goes wrong, what's the risk? So that's something you have to think about yourself. Once you know that, you've got the risk down, I know what this is, you have to say, okay, how could I try and attack this fear, like go after it myself, in an environment that minimises the risk? And then always, as well, thinking of the reward on the other side of it. So it's saying, if I go after it, I might fail, I might get laughed at, this might happen, I might lose this. If I do nothing, what happens? I stay the same, I get older and then I'm still in the same boat. Nothing improves, my mindset gets worse. If I do something and it works, what's the reward? Okay, the reward is I actually get what I want, I feel confident, I've overcome problems, I change my situation, I change my circumstance, I change something for someone else. The reward is always going to be huge. But the main thing for you, for a fear, is literally, right, okay, here's the risk. Get it right in front of you, physical evidence. This is the risk. This is what I know I might have to face. understand it, accept that it's a part of the process, but it's not going to be as bad as you think it's going to be. Just understand that you might have to come through it, but it's not going to be that terrifying when you're actually doing it. Trust me. Okay, so we've got the risk. This is what I'm going to face. I'm going to face the fear now. How can I do it in a controlled environment? You know, there's things where you can slowly expose people to the fears. So say it's like heights, for example, or talking to people or something like that. You slowly expose them to it. You say, okay, this is so high. Are you afraid? How do you feel? As soon as they say, okay, I'm done, I'm too scared, you take them away from that, and then you bring them back, you know, maybe to that height or a higher height, and you say, okay, how do you feel? Are you scared? Are you... Same as conversation. Okay, can you approach that person? Can you stand next to them? I know your heart's racing. You don't have to talk to them yet. It's fine. Just stand there. How do you feel? Okay, let's stop when you want to stop. Let's go back again. How do you feel? Could you look at them? Maybe just first step, look them in the eye. You know, small steps like that where you're in control. You get to stop, stop, stop. You sort of understand that you can leave at any time when you're facing most of your fears. They're not the same fears we had. Like, we've got all this emotion packed into these little things, which with potentially no risk, but we've got the exact same emotions attached to them than we did have to us being attacked by a saber-toothed tiger, or to us being bit by a snake and dying in the wilderness and stuff like that. We've still got the same chemical reactions of fear, but because we've not got enough fear in our life, like we've not got enough predators or enough challenges, or we're not pressuring ourselves, we're in these comfortable environments all the time, then any little thing that causes us fear, them emotions rush through, because it's a part of human nature. We need fear, we need sort of a hunt, like a hunting mentality or a protection mentality. You need a, you know, a sort of maybe even spiritual side of you as well as a physical side of you. You have to have all these things, a mental side of you, you know. I think it's very important that you know that fears can be overcome, and you learn how to actually go into it safely and do it bit by bit. Now, one thing that I think really helps with understanding like things that you're scared of and, you know, you overcome, is finding someone who's done it and learning from them. Like, how did they do it? How did they overcome it? Reading their stories, reading how they did it. I think you get like a lot of insight from that to make you understand that you are safe, that you can overcome it, that you can deal with it. So that's fear anyway. But instead of me just rambling like I do on all my sort of projects, I want to sort of connect with you properly. So what do you think? You know, what do you think about these fears that you've got? Do you think there's some that you could face? Right. Is there some that you think, with that, do you think you could sort of put it into like a controlled test? What's the test? No, you know you can stop it any time. That's right. Cool. Well, as long as you know it's a test and you've got people safe around you to try it, I don't see why not. You know what I mean? Just know the risk. Make the risk as minimal as possible, and don't underestimate that things can change overnight. You know, but if you don't change anything, sort of you're going to stay the same, but you're going to get older and your mental stability is going to decline. So I think it's, you know, it is important for us to both really go in on fears. I think another thing about fear, like, I know I'll talk about that a lot. I guess that's the subject tonight. I'll tell you why this is a subject tonight, actually. Watched a video that I recorded a while back, whiteboard session 3. It's about fear. Oh my god, it was terrible. I know you get better at editing and speaking, creating content, you know, stuff like that as you get on and you develop more. But this, like, rewatching it was just painful to watch. I was like, oh my god. And then I had to post it as well. And I know it's about 6 months since I made it, but oh, it was hard to watch. And all I kept thinking was, I should have said this, I should have added that, I should have done this, I should have done that. But, you know, improvement. So, I'm tired. Yeah, it's nearly my bedtime. So as I said before bed, I write a story down of my life, write in my journal, and then meditate a little. So it's pretty cool, like, you know, sort of that hour for me before bed is not to let my thoughts run wild. It's to capture what I need to capture, appreciate or jot down an important lesson from my life, and then just meditate on what I want to achieve, or who I want to be, what I want to live life like, you know, what I want to give, stuff, all that kind of stuff, you know, what you want to dream of. So what I'll go into here is, just to finish this up, wrap this up, just what do you think, like, what is it that if you took head on and learned how to overcome it could actually change how you see yourself or how you go out in the world and take things head on? You know, jobs, partners, chatting people at the bar, friendships, networking, education, family members, all that kind of stuff, like going out there and putting yourself out there. Maybe it's trying something new, doing something new, I don't know, creating something new. But learn from someone who's done it, make your own little tests in a safe environment, minimize the risk, and just do it without thinking. Like, count down 5, 4, 3, 2, 1 and do it, and you'll soon see that you'll feel better taking it head on than you do it allowing it to control you and smother you. So that's our chat tonight, I guess. But look, like, things aren't always going to be this bad. Things aren't always going to be this down. There's a lot of times where things aren't going to be alright, and it's going to feel like everything's shattered. But keep a bit of faith in yourself, confidence in yourself, whatever you want to call it, confidence in others to help out as well. And things do build down the line. You know, it'll come together as long as you take the right steps to do so, and you keep the right people around you. I think you've got a better chance, greater luck at making sure that your life's forthrightly there rather than just shambles. So, as I said, I was yawning on camera. I'm going to go to bed now. Just make sure you're alright, yeah? Don't give up. You're not alone. I'll see you soon.